it was a good one.
Thank you so much. Jen Elwelu'S, let me just say something to you here. I am happy to have you. You're live in my camera here. Just a word or two. Yes, I'm happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yes. To me, as a Pan-Africanist, of course, I can say when the president was doing the comparisons of how Africa is compared to the rest of the world, I felt so tight about that. What to you is your take home from what the president has just said?
The issue is Africa must wake up. Uganda must wake up. We cannot continue lamenting with all what we have. We cannot continue donating things to Europeans. The time for us to close that gate is now. Of this hemorrhage, it is now, and it's between you and me. We must sort it out. Finished.
Can we achieve it, or we'll just talk about it forever?
It is achievable. Yes, it will be achieved.
Standby class 1 is an army term that I'm becoming versed with. I've been told it means telling soldiers to be ready for anything, and that is war. My name is Elwelu'S Adrian Charlson, and this is the Global TV Uganda. I'm always here with Padre and Sulaiman to digest matters of national interest, political, social, and economic. Earlier this week, we've had rumors.
It was not rumors, it was reality. Because what is rumors, I believe, is what is being said from the second person narrator, or one saying saying something as second person narrator with no good reference.
That General Peter Elwelu'S put the entire army
first person narrator
on standby class 1. Standby class 1. A statement that I've explained earlier. And the highest order given to the military. It's the highest order given to the military. It is alleged that such an act, but it's not alleged, but an act of this kind speaks volumes. The president is out of the state. He's on a state visit to Rwanda for a meeting. You come out and say every soldier should be ready for war. As in, what does this mean?
Every soldier should be on standby class 1. Who is Peter Elwelu'S? He's a major general of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Secondly, he's the deputy, if I'm not mistaken, deputy commander defense forces of this country. So if his mandate,
he's a deputy
to the CDF, this man from
Mba? General Wilson.
Yes, General Wilson Mbadi from Kasese. So we are saying that if within his area of service, area of jurisdiction, so it was well investigated that our nation was in trouble. Probably the leadership of his boss was in trouble. Why do we have to question him? As militarism goes with investigations, but most importantly with spy network. Now, in their mandate of spying, if so, it was discovered that this country was to get into an insurgency. And then the one deputy commander of defense forces had to air out this. He didn't order this to Ugandans, but to soldiers. This was not wrong. In fact, it was rather good for this nation, also good for his boss, and good for himself.
Well, this meant that President Museveni survived.
As a president or a leader of any country, you lead well knowing that there are so many people who are interested in your seat. So, for anybody to think that even when you elect any Messiah of the sort, that there would not be any other people interested in his seat, that is a wrong idea. And I do believe Mr. Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta Ntibamulwa Museveni, might have faced this so many times. We're talking about a president who has been in the leadership of this country for over than 40 years. So if this was done, and so we didn't see a military coup, because anyway, military coup is just an assumption from a given group of people. If so, we didn't see a military coup, we didn't see any insurgents, say a rebellion of the sort, we didn't see any terroristic action on our country, I don't believe would better say bravo to the infamous, as stated by some people, General Peter Elwelu'S.
Now, there is this time round, this is a rumor, and I know you're going to accept. There is this rumor that has always come out that the first son has plans of hosting his father. And it reappeared on this very occasion. That the first son, General has plans. He's General Lieutenant General. He has plans of hosting his father.
If of anything, I want to believe, if he, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has plans to host his father, then it is General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni who would want his son to host him. I don't want to believe like others that these two have got a political power kind of conflict. Remember, we are talking about Major General Muhoozi, a son to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has moved ladders in terms of military promotions. And these military promotions are often approved by the Chief Commander of Defense Forces.
True.
And that is His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He's also the very president that endorses or approves rather the appointments of any military top commander. So I don't know whether it would be in the mind of President Museveni to appoint his own son into these top positions, to have him promoted to that rank, that they are in conflict, yes, and then that out of this, that this his son now hosts him. I think that is a wrong mentality. It is some politics that is rather being pushed by Ugandans, those that would want us to see like them.
Yes, to create a gap between the father and the son.
But it can never be.
It can be.
It can never be.
Now, the other thing as well, it can be.
It can never be unless the two have agreed. It can never be. If this general Muhoozi Kainerugaba so wanted to host his father, he would have done so many times, or he would have done so some time back. At one point, he was in charge of the Presidential Guard, so known as the Special Force Command, SFC. He was also in charge of the I think that was Air Force. Now, having been put in such a position, do you think it would be hard for him?
Now, the UPDF Special Person Brigade, General Felix
Spokesperson.
Yes, the spokesperson came out and said these things are not right. And what really gave me wondering, the first son himself came out and said, by the way, he's a person of social media. I don't know where that lies him, but he's a person of Twitter.
Formally, he wasn't.
Yes,
but with the time, he picked interest.
Become a person of Twitter.
And somebody is often stimulated to have to do something.
If he recently came out and continued threatening Uganda the way he has always done. That the person who is forging words, who is saying false information that I want to host my father, you'll face it rough. He's warning people. This is not the first time we've had him say such words. This world is ours. No one in this world has power over us. Now this time around you'll face it rough.
This world is ours. And how do you internalize this? This world is theirs, or this world is ours as meant by all of us?
If it is for all of us, then we would not wish to know.
The thing is, for me, where I get to defend him, that this is a son, and we are talking about a conflict that is driven by the media or a section of the citizenry to think that the two are conflicting for the power.
By the way,
or for the leadership of this nation. I think he's right. Secondly, he as General Muhoozi Kainerugaba being, put in a situation that he wanted to take over power from his father by making a coup d'etat, that by law is treated as treason. If you were the one, what would you have done in defense of oneself?
Now, the other thing, still looking at how the army, the military has dominated politics. Just of recent, let's talk about this. By the way, it's not part of the script. A minister, but also a soldier, by the way, because this other man is he's also a soldier.
I want to make my research, but I believe maybe he is, or he's a former soldier.
He's a former soldier. Would not mind. He was slapped by a congregant in a church. This was by the way, I just wanted to inform people that are watching that is where we have reached. This could be a sign that people are tired. Lastly, this is my last question.
Is it related to the same?
No, it isn't. With the increasing involvement of the military into the leadership of the country, we've not had a peaceful transfer of power since 1962 when we had our independence. Where does our democratic future where does our political future lie in relation to democracy and constitutionalism if the attempt we are having of coup d'etat?
Now, with me, I would want to answer you with a question.
Are we having any peaceful transfer of power?
I want to answer you with a question. Now, we've had threats of coup d'etat. Who in the world ever told you that even if you have democracy, you would not have such?
That my question was not connected to.
Okay, then I wanted also to respond to the issue of is it Minister Honorable, is it Elwelu'S? Now, he being slapped in church. I want to imagine if slapped in a church and the whole minister with a military background, if that is true. Second, that he has got bodyguards. He does not react. I want to applaud him for his sense of understanding. And if one thought that we are living in a military state, I want you to think twice. So if we are living a military state, I don't think the one who slapped would have survived. Then coming to the question you did ask, the future of this country is a bit optimistic. Those days when we had military coups, so we didn't have any sense of elections like we've had frequent elections. I do believe then that is a step and a very big one to show that we may not go back to the same. And if we did, we may not have such a bloody military coup.
The most recent, of course, the last transfer of power was it originated from an election that took place in Uganda, but it was rigged, so people decided to go to the bush.
So to speak, I'm still responding. I said yes, we could have that. We could have had that election or elections held in 1980 that were supposedly to be thought rigged. Let me assume, yes, they were rigged. We've had a section of Ugandans who have claimed ever since 2001 that we have had rigged elections. How many times have they dared to have a military coup or a coup d'etat and being able to succeed? Probably they know behind their mind that their allegations are just untrue.
That is a question and an answer I'm going to leave to the viewers. I, for one, I don't encourage force in anything.
I don't encourage it either. Could you also allow me to say this? I would wonder why Ugandans do think that when those that they support get mammoth numbers of votes, so with them they have won those areas genuinely. Yet when their opponents win somewhere with a big range of votes, so they have cheated. Ugandans are living typical example of infamous, weak-minded, and lazy competitors in any race, and they can always blame their tool just for the sake of their wanting to win.
Excuse. Those words from Mr. Paddy Bryan, and he's totally responsible for them.
I'm very much
I've
responsible.
heard of things like weak mind and so. He recently crucified me for speaking just a very small word, common person. And at this very point, I would like to end this video here.
Let me just say something to you here.
When
I am
he's
Mark,
attacked,
you're live in my camera here.
I will be the first person to come here and tell you that, you know what, the person was attacked
To me, as a
for
Pan-Africanist,
speaking
of course,
words,
I can say
he did
when
not
the president
calculate.
was-
But I'm very sure he always
you
calculates
must be
these things.
weak-minded. Why in a race should you be
Words to you is your take home.
very much assured that you are a
Came to
winner?
win. Why don't you announce yourself before you go into the election?
Exactly.
My name is Elwelu'S Adrian, and that's
We cannot continue lamenting with all what we have. We cannot continue donating things to Europeans. The time for us to close that gate is now. Of this hemorrhage, it is now, and it's between you and me. We must sort it out. Finish.
Can we achieve it or just talk about it forever?
It is achievable. Yes. It will be achieved. That gate has to be stopped, and it is now. It's good that the Europeans are still busy. Let them continue being busy with what they are doing. With what they are doing. Let's sort out ourselves here.
Thank you so much.